Hi there, everybody. I'm pretty sure by now you've seen a lot of videos online of people modifying Marvel Rivals on PC to have custom meshes. Um, and you're probably wondering, is it hard to do that? How do I do that? How much time does it take? How much experience do I need to have beforehand before I could make something like that myself? Well, if you look down at the timeline of this video, you will see how long it takes from start to end, how to make a mod. Um, that's what we're going to do today. So I've done a couple already. I swapped out Wolverine for Arthur Clown right here, as well as I swapped out Spider-Man for Gwen Stacy. Now, this particular Gwen Stacy, she does not have a mask on. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you step by step on how I take a masked version of Gwen Stacy from a regular model into a playable character in the game. Okay, let me close that down real quick. So everything I'm going to be talking about, it's all going to be in the description, along with my Discord channel and the Marvel Rivals Discord channel. So the very first thing you're going to need is Blender. So the link will be down below. Go ahead, download and install Blender. Okay. Same with Unreal Engine. We're going to download Unreal Engine, get up and running. Okay. And Fmodel. This is a very important piece of software that will allow us to take assets from the game and manipulate them as we wish. And I'm going to assume by at this point, you probably pause the video and you have all the software installed on your computer. So the very first thing we are going to do is open up Epic, and by default, it might be in the library over here where you see all the Epic games. On the left side, we're going to click Unreal Engine, click on Library on top, and then under Engine Versions, there's a little plus sign. You're going to click the plus sign. You're going to come over, hit the drop down, or hit the drop down, and you're going to choose the version of Unreal that we need. In this case, it is 5.3.2. So it does not appear for me because I already have it installed. But we're going to get 5.3.2 installed, and we're going to hit launch. Now it's probably going to download for you, install, it's going to take a bit. But now Unreal is going. Okay, after that, let's get Blender up and running. Now once Blender is installed, all you have to do is simply search for it, run it, and it opens up really fast. Here's Blender, we're already up and going. Okay, but now there's one other portion we have to do inside of Blender before we can actually use it. So the next link you're going to have to find in the description is this GitHub link. It is add export as FBX panel. So it's something we're going to need. If we click on it, come down here, you see IO underscore import scene Unreal PSA PSK 280. Go ahead and click on that. Okay, now this is my downloads folder, and we have the compressed file. Now you do not need to uncompress it. Keep it as is. What we are going to do is come into Blender, come up to Edit in the top left corner, click on Preferences. It'll be on Add-ons on the left, then click on Install on the top right. From there, you're going to click on the zip file that we downloaded. And once you do so, we can now search in here with this little search bar. I'm going to type in PSA. And we just need to make sure that this is enabled. So right now it's disabled, enable it, and we're good to go. Okay. Once we're here in Blender, I'm going to come up here and delete this camera. So just left click on it, hit delete on your keyboard. So left click cube, delete, left click light, delete. We are ready to start playing with Blender. Okay, so let's minimize Blender. Okay, we'll get to these links here in a second. So now that we have Unreal 5.3 installed, we have Blender installed, we have the plugin for Blender installed. Now we need to go ahead and get Fmodel up and running. So you already downloaded it, now you launched it, you have no idea what you're looking at. Let's check that out. Okay, here's Fmodel. By default, nothing on this left side is going to appear for you. Don't worry, we'll get there. What we are going to do is go up to settings in the top. We're going to set your output directory. Okay. So for this example, I'm on my desktop. I have a folder called modding. I'm just going to go click in there. Here, I don't need any of this in here real quick. Let me get rid of all this so it matches what you have. Oh, okay. So I'm empty, just like your screen. Okay. We're in here. I'm gonna go settings. We're gonna set the Outback directory to the modding folder. I'll click it, hit select. On the left side, or in the archive directory, I'm just going to no, let's go over models first on the left side. Set the model export directory. Again, just set it to that modding folder that we're playing with. Okay. Now, other games for Unreal Engine 5, for you to see the files and get them to load, you might need something called a mapping file. In this case, I have one set up for a different video game, but I could just leave it there because Marvel Rivals does not require one. So you don't need to mess with that. But if you are modding other Marvel or other Unreal games, you might come into the scenario where you do need this mapping file. So just go ahead and Google it, find the modding community, and you should be able to find that mapping file laying around. Make sure these settings are matched up to what I have. So this mesh format we want set to ActorX, PSK, and PSKX. Okay, this active directory, where do we get this information? Real easy. So I'm going to open up Steam. I'm going to right click Marvel Rivals, click on Manage, and go to Browse Local Files. Okay. Then click on Marvel Game, Marvel, Content, Packs. I would suggest that you add a shortcut to this folder right here. We're going to be using it a lot. So on my left side, I have this pack button. That'll take me here. These packs are for different games, but this pack will bring me to Marvel Rivals. So let's go ahead and copy this link in our Explorer, come back to Fmodel, and we're going to paste that right in here under Archive Directory, or click the three dots, find it in here, hit Select Folder. Okay. Now again, for you, you might see some of this information, but you won't be able to open any of it. Wait. Yeah, click on Directory, Selector, and right here for directory, we're also going to put that same pack location, the exact same one that we just used. For UE version, what I've been finding, because there's a lot in here, Rivals is a good one because it's already in here. Just search Marvels and it pops up. Okay. From there, I'm just going to hit OK. Now come up to directory. Now, some games require, they have encryption, so you have to use a code to get through the encryption. That's what we're going to do here. So, I don't have these. Where do I get this information? The next link down below. Now, when I post these links down below, I might put them in different orders. So just look for what you're looking for. But you'll come to this website. You'll scroll down, hit keys, hit the little show button, hit Control F on your keyboard, and just type in Marvel Rivals. See, so two of them appear. This first one, we're going to copy it because this is the main key. Come over here to the encryption thing in Fmodel. You're going to paste that first code into the main static key. Okay. Now, right below it, there's a link because it says Marvel Rivals additional keys. So I'm going to copy this link and paste it up here. Okay. And it'll bring me to this post. I'm going to hit the show button, and there are 4 extra keys. So I'm going to copy these keys and come down here in order. So let's copy all the keys. Now I'm just double clicking them and then hitting Control C on my keyboard, copy, and then I'm hitting Control V to paste. Copy, paste, okay. Now for you, because you just did all that, a pop-up might appear saying, hey, you made some changes, Fmodel has to restart. Just hit the button, hit OK, and Fmodel will restart, and then you'll have this screen right here. Now for you, you'll notice I have two mods down here, or two other files called Z Spidey and Z Wolverine. You will not have those unless you install my mods that I showed you earlier, or all the other mods you installed will also appear in here. Okay, so all of these files come from, remember that pack file that I had you save earlier? They're all from in here. So if I scroll down, here is my Z Spidey and Z Wolverine. So they match. Okay. Now we're ready to extract assets from the game that we're going to mod. In this case, I need to extract Spider-Man assets. So how do we do that? In loading mode, I'm going to have all enabled. I'm going to hit load. Now, when you hit load, it doesn't matter where you're loaded. You click on here, you're going to load all anyway. So it doesn't matter where you click. Just hit load. Click on Marvel, Content, Marvel. Now, make sure you're not clicking Marvel LQ. We want Marvel. Click on Characters, and each of these are a different character. But instead of having names like Spider-Man or Wolverine, they all use these 4-digit codes. So right here, I will go ahead and copy and paste this information in the description as well. So you know, excuse me. So you know which character you need to find, right? In my case, I need to find, well, for Spider-Man. If you hear my dog in the background, I'm sorry. He's barking right now. Look for Spider. That's Spider Zero. Where's Spider-Man? There we go. 1036 is Spider-Man. So if I come back over your characters, find 1036, I'm gonna hit the drop down. Now these are Spider-Man and his different costumes. Every character has it where the first one is going to be their primary costume and the rest are going to be extra costumes. So when we're modding, for the most part, you're going to want to mess with the first one. So we'll click on 1036, then 1036.001. Going to expand that. And here we go. We have our materials, meshes, textures, all the fun stuff we're looking for. I'm going to double click on meshes. Here's all our meshes we're looking for. You know what? Let me close this and get rid of my Gwen mod real quick, just because she's popping up in there as well. I know we don't want that. Marvel content, Marvel characters. Was it 1036? 1036.001. Double click mesh. Here we go. So which ones are we going to play with? Well, if we open up sk underscore 1036 underscore 1036.001.u asset, if we double click this, we're going to get this window to come up. So if you hold left click, you can drag around the screen. Okay. Going to close that out. And we also want to take a look at the same above, but with underscore lobby.u asset at the end. So let's double click this. Okay. So these are two models that we want. So I'm going to hold control, select both models, right click, save model. Okay, we have our models. I'm going to go back one folder up above. So I'm going to click on 1036.001. I'm going to right click meshes and save folder packages textures. Okay, now down below, if you click on where it says successfully saved, it'll open up the folder as to where it saved everything. Okay, so we have Marvel, characters, 1036. I'm just going through here real quick to make sure everything copied over correctly. And if we go to maybe I should click the right button, right? Give me a moment. Meshes. Lobby. I'm just trying to get the textures real quick. There we go. Okay, my bad. Right click texture and save packages texture. Okay, so we have meshes and textures, all good. I'm sorry about that. It was just a little confusion right there. I was clicking the wrong button. Okay, so if I click the button, I have exports, Marvel, content, Marvel, characters, 1036, 1036, texture, and we have all the textures we are looking for. Okay. Now, right now we have lots of folders all over the place. It's a little confusing. So we're going to organize our workspace because that's how you should. We should all be organized. So what I'm going to do is open a new window. I'm going to my packs folder. Instead of the packs, I'm going to click on content up above. And I'm going to make a new folder called mods or modding, however you see fit. I now made another tutorial or another window called tutorial. So I'm going to come in here, and this is where I'm going to put all my assets. So if I click on assets, I have the Spider Gwen information. I have her FBX in here and her costumes and all that, her textures, all that fun stuff. And now I'm going to bring over this Marvel folder that we exported earlier. So my modding folder. Just grab and drop. Okay, so Marvel content, Marvel characters, 1036, 1036.001. Okay, in here I need to bring my texture folder. Okay, so the texture folder that we exported, drag and drop. Now it's real important that you're putting everything in the exact same file structure. The reason being, we have to recreate all of this inside of Unreal later. And if we start now using the proper file structure, then when we do get to Unreal later, we already know what we're doing, okay? So at this point, we do have our original mesh, and we have the one we're replacing it with, okay? Now let's go ahead and jump in Blender, and we will get through the next, we'll jump to Unreal when we get there. So now we're in Blender. Okay, so how am I moving? If I hold the left or middle mouse button on my keyboard and just hold it in this scene, I can move my mouse left and right, up and down, and I rotate the scene, okay? If I hold the shift key on my keyboard and then I hold middle mouse, I pull up and down. See this? Up and down. And if I scroll my mouse wheel in and out, I zoom in and out. So with this information, I can move all the way around my model and move around the scene. You don't need to know anything about Blender. Every button I'm going to push on and click on, you're going to see me do it, and I will tell you what I'm doing. So if you follow my exact steps, you'll get a basic understanding of what we're doing. Okay? I'm going to hit File in the top left, go to Import, and we are going to import the original model first, not the one we're replacing it with, but the original. And the original is in a PSK format. So come down to Skeleton Mesh PSK. Okay? What I'm going to do is come back to my file structure, go to Assets, and I'm going to find the Spider-Man model. So Marvel content, Marvel characters, come all the way through, meshes, and we have the underscore 1036.001 for Spider-Man, and we have the lobby. Don't worry about the lobby. We just want the original for now, okay? So I'm going to copy this directory, come back over to Blender. I'm going to come up to the top of Blender and paste that directory. And double click on the Spider-Man model. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to use the middle mouse to scroll backwards. I'm going to hold Shift and middle mouse button on the screen to pull up. And now we have Spider-Man here. Now I'm just going to use the middle mouse button to rotate around him to take a good look. Okay. He looks good. Now it's going to File, Import. Now, whatever you're replacing your model with, it doesn't matter. if it's a .obj file, it doesn't matter if it's a PSK file or an FBX, we can import all of it, it's all going to work. So don't worry if the file format is a little bit different. So in this case, I'm going to be importing an FBX file. I'm going to come back here, and we'll go back a little bit and find my Gwen Stacy model. Now, it's not mine. In the description, I'll also have a link to where I got this model, okay? So, credit everybody, and when I upload this Nexus mods, I'll also credit that individual who made the model, okay? You always do that. Even if it's if you get a model from like Fortnite, credit Fortnite, give credit where credit is due. So we're going to open the Spider-Gwen. I'm going to copy this directory, come over to Blender, I'm going to paste the link. And the only FBX in there is her model, so I'm going to double click it. And immediately it gets a little wonky, right? We have all these weird bone things sticking out of her. We have this big pipe thing. It's confusing, right? It makes no sense. So on the right side, what I'm going to do, where it says armature, I'm going to hit the little arrow button to the left. Now for armature, I'm going to hit the eyeball button. So now it's invisible. And if we come down, we're going to see our Marvel rival model. So here's Spider-Man. I'm going to click the little eyeball on him as well. So now he's hidden. Now we're just looking at Spider-Gwen. Now she is this bone _0. Okay. I'm going to expand it, and we have all this weird stuff. What is all this weird stuff? Don't worry, we're not going to need most of it, okay? So first I'm going to click one of these weird bone things you're seeing protrude out of her. I'm just going to left click it on my keyboard and just hit the delete button, okay? She has this weird thing up here. I don't know what it is, but over here, it highlighted this. See that? So it's probably her web or something. I don't know, but we don't need it. So I'm going to just delete it as well. In this case, she's holding a phone. That's another one of these models. We don't need it. I can get rid of it. Okay, so she looks pretty good right here. This is what we want. So I'm going to highlight her whole body. Wait, what's this one? Let me hide all this and see if... Well, she has something by her foot. Don't know what that is, but it's highlighted over here on the right. I'm just going to delete it. Okay. Let's bring her back to life. Let's highlight her whole body. Where is it? There, okay, just highlight one piece at a time. So we are going to highlight her. We just want to left click. Again, if you're going to use a different body, it's going to be the same idea, right? So I'm going to click a portion of the body. On the right side, I'm going to hit this orange square button, and now we have our transform information. So I'm going to rotate her on her X to make her stand straight up, which is going to be 90 degrees. There we go. And whatever transformations we do to this one piece, we have to do it to the rest as well, so it all matches. So all of these I'll click on and give them all the 90%. There we go. Now she's standing up. Let me go ahead and unhide Spider-Man. Let's move her back a little bit. So I'm going to click her head this time. And I'm going to grab the Y over here on the right side. I'm going to grab it and start pulling it backwards. Okay. There we go. Now, the head is a little, Spider-Man's head's a little higher. So what we are going to do, there's a couple things we can do. What I want to do though, is just scale it up. So I'm going to type in, let's say 1.5. That's really big on the X. How about 1.5 on the Y? That's really big, okay? So 1.5 is not a go. How about 1.1? Still a little too big. How about 1.08? That looks pretty darn good. How about 1.09? Let's go back to 8. 1.08. Okay. So the information I just put on this head, I have to put on the rest of this body. So I'm going to copy the location Y and paste it on all of these. They all get it, and then they also all get the was it 1.08 on the scale. See that on the so again, we'll do that over here. And come over here, 1.08. And then we have these right here, which I don't think we're going to keep these very long, but I'll show you why we're not going to keep them. Okay, so I'm going to keep going as if we are. So move it, and then 1.08. And then right here as well. We're going to move it, and 1.08. Okay. So now we're, give or take, in the same ballpark where we should be. 1.085. I think I prefer that. Let me just update these real quick. I'm copy and pasting all that. So now if I hide Spider-Man, we have Gwen. And because we copied the scale correctly and moved the character correctly, the entire model should be lined up perfectly. Okay. Now what we're going to do here is make a save. I save a lot. So I'm going to come back to my asset folder where I have these, the Marvel and Spider. I'm just going to name this edit 1. Okay. So now this is, save as, there we go. So this is my base. You don't manipulate your base. Okay, so let's immediately make an edit number 2. And this is where we're going to start working on edit 2. So the very first thing we're going to do, because this will mess stuff up later, and we don't want to mess stuff up, I want to hide everything except her legs. I want to left click it to where she's outlined in orange. I want to hit tab on my keyboard. Okay, this put us in edit mode. So if I look in the top left corner, if I hit tab, we're in object mode up here. See this? But if I hit tab, it takes you to edit mode. So that's the shortcut key, and this is how you get there through the menu. Okay, now that she's highlighted the legs, I want to click on UV editing on top. And scroll out. You'll notice, because I have everything highlighted on the right side, we have all these weird triangles on the left. And if I left click on the left side anywhere else besides the body, it all disappears. Where is it? On the right window in the top next to edit mode, you'll see these 3 dots. One is vertex, one is edge, and one is polygon. We won't go in the polygon mode, so let's click that third one. And now if I click on any of these polygons, they all appear on the left side. Look at that. So these are all correlating to the UVs, which is going to be the textures. Okay. Now if I hold left click, I can make a square box around the body. And we'll let go, and it selects more of the pieces. Now, if I hold middle mouse click and move around the body, we will notice the back end is not highlighted. So if you want to be able to highlight like this and get everything from the front and behind, what we want to do is on the top right of your window, you'll see this white circle that's filled in. The one to the left, the one that's more gritty, we're going to click on that. And now if I highlight, it will do the entire body, okay? And if I go back up there, click that white dot, white circle, it takes me back to this mode and everything's highlighted. Okay, so that's a couple basic things for Blender. Now what we want is all that stuff to be there, okay? And what we want is for that to all be there at the end as well. But if we don't do this next step, then it won't be there, and that puts us in trouble, okay? So what I'm going to do is expand the first armature, and I'm going to see Spider-Man, okay? Well, let's come out of this mode so it's a little easier for you to see. Click on modeling in the top left corner and scroll out. Okay, so I'm going to enable Spider-Man. Oh, turn that first one off. There we go. So here's his body. And if I come back to, I'm still in edit mode on her. Even though I reveal Spider-Man, I'm still on her. So I'm going to hit tab on my keyboard. And now I can click on Spider-Man. Okay. Now that I'm Spider-Man, on the right side, we're going to see a couple menus, and we want to find we want to find this upside down green triangle. And to the right of it, click on UV maps. Now we are going to see two of them for this case. UV underscore single and extra UV 50. I don't know what that second one is in here. We don't worry about it. But that first one, UV underscore single, all capitalized, we need that information. So I'm going to double click on that and copy that name. Okay. Now I'm going to come back to the model down here. So let me click on her legs on the right side. And if we come over to UV, okay, it says diffuse UV. So double click it, hit Control V on your keyboard to paste the new UV name, okay? And what we are going to do is, hi Spider-Man, I'm going to hide the legs. I'm going to expand on all the other parts of her body. Each one of these need to have single UV or UV single in there, okay? So let me keep going down all of these and paste the new name. Again, if you do not do this, you're going to run problems later. You have to do this, okay? And now I'm going to start at the top. On the left side, we're going to click, I don't even know these menus. I just go through until I find what I need. Click on the modifier properties one. It's the blue wrench. So we'll click on the first one. Click on the blue wrench. And if you see anything in here besides where it says add modifier, you have to delete it. In this case, I see it says bone 0. I'm just going to come over here, hit the X button, and it's gone. I'm going to do that for every single piece. We don't want any of this in here. Okay. And now if we click on the triangle again, the green triangle, we see bone 19. We don't want that. Again, in this case, I can hit the minus button and it will delete it, okay? So delete, delete. If you run through this scenario where you see a lot of them, okay, you can spam this down button, okay, over and over again. You're going to delete all of it. It takes time. But you can hit the arrow right below it and go to delete all groups and it's gone, okay? So arrow, delete all groups, it's gone. Arrow, delete all groups, it's gone. So now all we see over here is this single green triangle, upside down triangle on each of these assets. That's what we want. Okay. Now we have one more part, and which is why I don't think we're going to keep this bracelet on. So if I click on Spider-Man up here, okay, so I'm on Spider-Man. If I click this red earth towards the bottom, and I'm going to drag this down, so I'm going to hold left click right here and pull it down, we're going to see all the textures for him, okay? So he has a body, a head, equipment 2, equipment. These are all his textures, okay? And I'm going to verify all of that by going to my assets folder and finding Spider-Man. So instead of going to mesh we did earlier, I'm going to go into the texture folder, and here are all textures. So we have body, and we have body. We have equipment, head, and there should also be equipment too. There it is. Okay. So in this case, we have four, four materials that we could play with. We cannot add more. We could take some away. Okay. In this case, we have 4 we could play with. But if I click down here, if I hide him, each one of these body parts for Gwen, see these? They all have different names. See this? We have submesh 1, 0. Click on the head. We have submesh 2, 1. We have 0. Oh, wait, that's actually really nice. Never mind. I didn't do a deep dive into this model when I was messing with it earlier, but we might be able to keep these. Okay, that's good. So what I'm going to do is first click on her body, it looks like. Okay. We'll come to the right where it says model 1. Oh, wait, never mind. We might not keep these because the names are different. Model 5. Yeah, model 501. Okay. Backtrack what I just said about keeping those. We're probably going to delete them still. So I'm going to click her body. And I'm going to come down. So again, we're in this red box. Click on the arrow down. And we're going to swap it from her materials down to Spider-Man's. So I'm going to select body. So now she's using that material. I'm going to click the bottom half of her. And Yep, notice that they're using different UV names. So they can't stay the same. So that's going to be body. I'm going to click the legs. And I want to change this to, I don't know, equip. Okay. I'm going to click on the head. I want to select, now we don't want to select material on top, okay? But now I want to do head, okay? Which means we have, remember, come back to this. We use 3 of these, we have 1 more we can play with. So we can keep the bracelet. So I'm going to click the bracelet and go to equip 2. Now, some characters might have more materials, some might have less. So you just take note of what you're modifying before you really get into it. Okay, so this, I don't know what this is. It's probably just glass. I'm going to left click it though and delete it, and now it's gone. Okay. So we still get to keep the bracelet. We just won't have the glass over it. Okay. We're at this point. I am going to make another backup save because I do that a lot. So I'm going to do click, I want to save, and then make a new save. So this is going to become edit underscore 3. Okay. Now is the next part. So if I turn on Spider-Man, we're going to notice Spider-Gwen, her body parts don't really match up with Spider-Man, right? Like her legs are coming straight down, his are wide open or more spread apart. Her arms are in a different position. His hands are much bigger. So we need to correct this. What I'm going to do is hide Spider-Man, but I'm going to click the armature up on top, and there are his bones. So if we click Spider-Man again, the bones match up to his body. So it makes it easy. So now I see, okay, I need to make her body match up to those. So what I'm going to do first is, this is how I like to do it. First, we're going to start with legs. Well, left click the legs. I'm going to hit tab on the keyboard. And I'm going to start with this right leg. So I'm going to come up here and click the grid earth button so I can see through the whole thing. I'm going to hold left click and then scroll up and get about halfway through. So now I'm in our body, right? And then on the opposite leg, we'll hold shift on my keyboard and do another highlight. See this? So this is how I do all my legs all the time. I'm then going to hold shift on my keyboard, hit H. That's going to hide the rest of her leg. I'm going to come up here on the right side and hide the rest of her body parts. So all we are working on is just her leg. This is it. Okay, so I'm going to start this by highlighting her up to about her knee. Okay. On the left side, I'm going to hit the little move button. And now, if I hold left click on this red arrow that came up, look at this. I can move her leg. If I rotate the screen, I see the green arrow and the green arrow back and forth. Oh, to go undo, I'm holding control and hit Z. That undoes. And the blue one, up and down, okay? So control Z. Now, what I want to do is add a fall off because I want this portion to be moved, but I also want some of this up here to move as well. So it looks more fluid. You know what I mean? So up here, I want to click on this circle on top. And now it's highlighted blue. So now if I grab the red arrow, watch this. It does the same. Yeah. We're going to undo that. If I hold arrow, now, as I'm holding it, as I can move back and forth, while holding it, if I use the middle mouse wheel and scroll down, look at the middle. There's a gray circle expanding. That's the fall off. Look at that. So now it's pulling up a little bit. So I could actually add some fall off to this. See that? So in this case, I'm going to grab just her leg. I'm going to grab and I'm going to add some fall off. Okay. And then I want to do the same with so the left side, if I hit the button under move, it's rotate. Now I could rotate her foot just a little bit. Look at this. It's a little rotated. Okay. Probably not. Now you might have to, could get a little wonky when we're doing this. It's okay. Wonky's okay. So I'm going to come up here and click back on the circle. I'm going to come into object mode. I'm going to take a look at the work. See, yeah, do I like it? Do I not? Bring up Spider-Man and go, I could go to the side a little bit more, and the foot could come backwards a little bit. So that's what we're going to do, because his legs are very, wow, his legs are very cartoony with how they're built. Okay, so I'm going to, again, hide him, hit tab. Now, if you make a selection and you want to expand it and make it more, I'm going to hold Alt on my keyboard, and then using the plus and minus buttons on my keypad, I'm going to hit hold there. Hold Control and then hit plus and minus, and you can expand. See this? I'm gonna expand it. I'm gonna move it back a little bit, and I want to decrease it because this area is kind of just going back and forth. I understand this is probably the boring part of the video, but I'm going over buttons you need to push and stuff, so it's kind of important. Okay, I'm gonna hold Alt and hit H, and that unhides. So again, if you left click, H will hide what you're clicking on. Control Z. Shift H hides everything else, and then when you are like this, Alt H will unhide everything. So we'll come back to this menu. I'm going to do the same thing where I select this portion of the body, and then some mesh here. I'm going to hit Shift H. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same thing where I'm over on this side. This over a little bit. Let's turn this around. Okay, so I already did it on the other side. Oh, that looks terrible. Trying to do it to where I don't mess with the top too much. There we go. So I already did the other foot, so I'm kind of just rushing more through this. Okay, so I'm going to hold Alt hit H, come back up here to object mode, click the middle one, and if I hide the skeleton, oh yeah, I have to pull this like back a bit. That's right. That's right. Let's just pull this back just a smidge. Now, if you're looking around by holding middle mouse, if you hold Alt on the keyboard, then do it, it will snap. See this? So I can snap it between the different locations. So I just want this one to match up. You want stuff to match. There we go. Object mode, click on the circle up there. Okay. Is it perfect? No. Is it good enough? Good enough for government work. We are golden, pony boy. Okay. Let's click the next portion. There we go. Now we're going to do the arms. Now this is where, once we start making these edits, the arms are going to look weird. They're going to look wonky because Marvel Rivals uses very exaggerated bodies in the game. So I'm going to click the body, or the hand. I'm going to tab it, and I'm going to highlight the arm. Now, if your character you're editing also has like a watch or armor on their arm, right? You highlight that too, as if it's part of what we're messing with. So I'm going to grab the arm and just kind of stretch it. Just going to stretch it. Maybe I have to expand it so it doesn't look as wonky. Look at this though. If I do this, it breaks it, right? We don't want to make it the fall off so big that we make problems like that for the body. So I'm going to decrease my fall off. Okay. Instead, what I can do is hold Control, hit plus, and just expand my grab a little bit. So I know it's a little hard to tell in video, but these two black lines right here, those are going to be for the thumbs. So normally I like to line up the thumbs first. There we go. And then I need to get the fingers lined up. So I'm going to, oh my goodness, look how stretched it is. I'm going to rotate the body a little bit. Now, if we open Spider-Man, Spider-Man is just like this. You know, we're doing the same thing that they did for him. So, move this more over. Try to get more of the fingers where they need to be. Oh, that was a little too much, huh? Just trying to rotate this to where it's not. Oh, what I'm going to do instead is hide some of this. There we go. So now I could make edits without that portion being just messed with. So I can expand that a little bit. Oh, I know it's a little wonky. There we go. Now we're getting. Now, of course, you could take your time and move all the fingers where they need to go, but that's good enough for me. Oh my goodness, look at that. You could take your time and line up a little bit better. Let me take her elbow, and we'll pull this back a little bit up after I decrease the effects. There we go. Tab. Okay, that's good. Let's do the same thing over here real quick. So I'm just going to be a lot faster because we just did the other one already. So we have an idea of what we're doing, right? Now, I think this Spider-Man model has a gauntlet on his hand or something. So this side is going to be a little different, maybe. Just do the same thing we just did, you know? Okay. Now, again, I'm sorry this video is taking time, but this is what happens, you know? It's, I want people to watch this who don't know what we are doing to know what we're doing. Okay? Go ahead. Okay, I'm going to hit Alt-H to unhide. And notice, because I hid this portion, it didn't get moved, right? So if you hide something and work around it, you're safe. Okay, we'll go into object mode. Let's look around, see if we can make any other quick adjustments. Looks like her head is a little bit further forward, or his is. So I could hide him. Let's bring the head. Oh, uh, there we go. If you're messing with assets, make sure you put them back where they go. In this case, I just want to move this piece. So you can turn off the fall off so it doesn't mess with anything. And I'm just going to move this back onto the wrist. So I'm rotating it. And I probably have to enlarge it just a little bit. So I'm going to hit the scale button. Pull up on the blue a little bit. And the green and the red just to make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, that looks good enough, right? You're never gonna see this stuff move in game anyway. Okay, that's in position. And now what I want to do is move her head pretty much these portions ahead. So I'm gonna left click one piece and hold shift and hit another one. Going to hit tab to go to edit mode, and then pretty much grab however much I want to pull forward. Roughly there, let's just say that. Open up Spider-Man, and I'm gonna grab her, and again, I don't have fall off on, I turn it off. Remember, so I'm gonna click it on so it's on again. Just move her body forward a little bit, right? Let's hide Spider-Man, see what she actually looks like now. Oh, look at that. That's what happens when you don't hide stuff, right? So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hide this portion, and I'm going to do it again. Open up Spider-Man. I'm going to pull her forward. Probably not too much. Let's hide Spider-Man. Let's hide his bones. Okay. Okay, we broke it again. This is exactly why we do this, right? We want to make sure that what edits we do make, we're not messing up. We'll hide those parts of her. Let's try it for a third time. Just bring it forward a little bit. Hide. Unhide. You know what? Yeah, that more stuff messes up. I'm just going to keep it like this then. We'll just pray for the best. We'll see what happens. Okay. Now we're going to get to the tricky part. This is going to be the part where you're probably going to save the video, this timestamp, so you can replay it over and over again, okay? Of course, we're going to make a new save. So I want to hit Control S to save edit 3, then I want to hit save as, edit 4. There we go. Okay, so we need to copy all of the weights over, because right now this character does not have weight, so Bones will not control her. Let's do it, right? Okay, first thing we do is merge all these body parts, because right now we have 4 different pieces. We need one. So I'm going to left click the legs, left click legs, the bracelet, the body, and then the head. Go hold Control, hit J on the keyboard. Hold Control, hit J, and now look, it's all one mesh. The most important part, or a lot of parts apart, right? I'm going to hit Tab, we go to Edit Mode, onto UV editing, and highlight the body. Just highlight wherever you see, and make sure everything pops up on the left side. Okay? If nothing pops up over here, if there's nothing at all, you're in trouble. We mess up at some point. What we want are all of these to be over here, okay? Let's come back over to modeling. We'll hit Tab, come to object mode. And now I need to reveal Spider-Man. We're going to copy the weights over from... real quick, I don't like this at all. Grab the wrist. And let me decrease this a bit. There we go. Let me hide Spider-Man. Okay. I'm just trying to make this look a little better, because that was way off, huh? Let's turn him back on. And same with like some of these body parts. Oh, that looks terrible. Okay, you know what? Let's play with this. I'm not... Let's see anything over here just real quick. Oh, that looks so bad. Okay, you know, we're just gonna go with it, go with the flow. If normally you would take more time. Okay, I'm just trying to get through this. I'm gonna save real quick. Okay, I'll hide the armature. We'll left click on Spider-Man, the original model that's going to be giving the other model the maps. Left click it, and now I'm going to hold Shift and left click on Gwen, the new model. Top left, hit Object, Weight Paint. Go to Weights, hit Transfer Weights. In the bottom left, hit Transfer Mesh Data. We're going to change the vertex mapping to Nearest Edge Interpolated. Change the radius to 5 meters, so 5m. And source layer something. Click on active layer set by name. Okay. Immediately click on, let's go back to object mode, and let's hide Spider-Man. Click on Gwen, which, what, her leg's a little wonky right there. Let me come over here and grab the edge and just move some of these edges in real quick. Oh, without this turned on. There we go. That's a little better, I guess. Okay. Click on Gwen, your model. Click object on the top left, and then hit weight, weight paint. Oh no. Yeah, weight paint. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. On the right side, click on the upside down triangle, and now we're going to see all these vertex groups. These ones we keep. So I'm going to expand this. And once you want to click on one, I'm going to hold up on my keypad, right? Watch this. She lights up like a Christmas tree. We're just going to play as is and just hope it looks good in game. If your character looks all wonky when they're running, it's going to be the weights that are the problem, okay? For example, let's say, oh, my head might be a problem. So the whole, actually, I don't think this top portion is going to move at all. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But if, let's say you want the head to move more with the bones, how it's supposed to move, you want red, okay? Oh, oh no, I just hit Control Z and now I lost the head. Give me a second. Head. There it is. Okay, so up here you can mess with the weight. So if I want to pull the weight down here, down to 0.2, it does that. So now if the head moves, it's going to move part of the stomach. I mean, we don't want that, right? So let's go all the way and turn it off. Okay, so turn it off. That part of the head should be that eye, so I want to give a little more something to the eyes, right? Just put it there. Okay. Object mode. We're going to make a save right here, and this one's going to be special because it's going to be edit 5 under weights painted. Okay. Now what we want to do is move our mesh, our Gwen Stacy, up to Spider-Man. Okay. So I want to click, I have Spider-Man here. I want to hit tab. Watch this. Highlight some of the finger or some of this glove. I'm going to hit H to hide. And now I'm going to delete all of him. So highlight him, hit right click, and hit delete. Wait, before we hide something, go back to polygon mode. Select polygons, hide. Select his entire body, right click, delete faces. He's gone now. Hold Alt, hit H. Now all we have from the original model is this tiny little sliver. Okay, now I'm bringing up Gwen here. Now I want to move Gwen to Spider-Man. So I'm going to left click Gwen, hold shift click over here on what's left Spider-Man. Then we'll hit Control J on the keyboard. Now look up here. See what happens? Look. I'm going to hit Control 0 quick, go back. Click on Gwen. Click on Spider-Man at the top right. Watch what happens. If I hold Control J. Sometimes it gets wonky like that. Click, click, Control J, boom. And now all of a sudden, Gwen is gone. All we have is Spider-Man at this point. So I'm going to click on this little piece of mesh that's just floating here. And I'm going to delete it, and then Spider-Man is completely gone. Look at that. Okay. Those arms are wonky, but we're just going to roll with it, okay? Save as. Now that we did the transfer, I'm going to do this edit 6. Merged. Okay. Here's the last part we need to take care of inside of this blender. It is vertex paint. Whoa, is this for real? Let me do something real quick. Okay. So, do you know how when you're in game, there's that black outline around your character? this has to do with the vertex paint. Okay. So if we do it darker blue, then this is going to get rid of that black outline. This character will not have that black outline when you play with her. But we want a little bit, so I like to do something like, I don't know, let's add just a smidge of green to it. There it is, a little darker. Oh, here, we'll do this, okay? So I'm going to increase the radius and just make her entire body this blue color. Entire body is going to become this blue. Remember, this vertex painting. Okay. Make sure we get the whole body. Now we should have a tiny black line, but nothing like we used to have before, okay? I'm going to come to vertex paint on the top left and click object. I'm going to hit save, and we are done with this portion, okay? Let's go ahead and draw the bones. Everything looks good-ish. You know, it's not perfect one-to-one, but it's good enough for government work. I'm going to hit File on top left, Export FBX. Okay. We're in the same folder where we were saving all the edits. This is our asset folder. This is what we're playing with. Now, here's what's real important. We have to name this file something very specific. It has to have the exact same name of the one that's in game. So right here, the Spider-Man model, the SK 1036 1036-001. Go ahead, right click it and copy it. Paste it. The right side, hit geometry, change smoothing to face, change vertex colors to linear, export. And we're going to do the same thing with the lobby name. So it's the same name with underscore lobby put at the end. So file, export, FBX, paste it. The settings should be the same, face, linear, export. Okay, we are done with Unity. We can minimize it now. Hey there. Okay, so I just had to stop the recording and backtrack a bit. So I'm sorry for the little jump cut right there. But now we are back to Unreal. So after we have 5.3 opened up, what we're going to do is make a new project. And the new project is going to be called, well here, first we click on Games, click on Blank, here in Unreal, then the project name has to be Marvel, okay? That's a must. We're going to hit the Browse button, and we're going to put all of this inside of our tutorial folder that I have right here. So I'm just going to select it, and it's going to make a Marvel folder inside of there. And then all of our Unreal information and assets and all that fun stuff is going to happen inside this folder. So I'm going to hit create. Let me close some of this because I'm a little lost right now. I recorded a lot and now I had to jump back. Here we go. Okay, Unreal is still opening up. I'm going to grab my assets. We have these two right here, the lobby and the main one. Okay, Unreal's just loading up real quick. Okay, in Unreal, if you hold the right mouse button, you can look around and you can grab the middle mouse click the center of the screen and move your mouse around and stuff moves, okay? So the first thing we are going to do is come over to the right. I'm going to hold Control, hit A. I'm just going to hit delete and get rid of all that stuff. We don't need it. Not needed. I'm coming up to edit in the top left, project settings. Click packaging on the left. And we want use pack file and generate chunks to be enabled. So you want to see those two options. Just copy my screen. Now what I'm going to do is pull this whole screen to the left and this screen to my right. So earlier we put the assets in a certain order. The ones with our textures, our materials, our meshes in a certain order, and that was for a reason. That's because we need to recreate that file structure inside of Unreal. And it's going to be the same file structure that you actually find inside of Fmodel. So what we're going to do over here on the left side, we're going to click on Content, right click in the middle, and go to New Folder. We are going to make a folder called Marvel. Okay, and spelling matters. It's very important right here. Okay, so if we open up our folder here on the right, we have our Marvel folder. Open up, we have Content. Open that up, we have Marvel. Open that up. In here, we are going to have characters. Inside of characters, around 1036. Now this one's because I'm using Spider-Man. Depending on what character you are using, you're going to have different numbers. So just take note of that. Okay. 1036 001. And inside of there, we are going to make a couple more folders called Materials, Meshes, Texture, and I'm going to open up Materials, and I'm going to see there's a Lobby folder in there as well. Lobby, so I'm going to make that. Okay. You could just look to the left over here. I understand. I'm sorry, it's smaller on your screen. That's because I'm recording on ultra wide. So I'm gonna hopefully it's legible. But you could just copy the file structure I have my over here on the left side, as long as yours matches up and you understand what this means, and you can add or take away to it later. You're good to go. Okay, to meshes. And this is where we have to drop our brand new asset that we exported earlier. Okay. So we have the lobby and the primary one. We're going to use the primary first. So let's grab and drop that. Okay, right here is very important. The way this is going to look right here. Let me see some of the settings right quick, because I don't want you guys messing this part up. We are going to have these top two selected, geometry and skimming weight selected. We're going to change. Now, if you don't want your character to have outlines, don't worry about this. You're going to keep the settings as is. If you don't want them to have outlines, like for this mod, I don't want Spider-Gwen to have it. I'm going to hit replace, override, and I'm going to set this to just a very dark blue, like a really dark blue. Does that have to be a particular thing right here? It's just set to dark blue. Bluer than purple. There we go. We'll go with that. And we'll hit OK. We want preserve, not import mesh. We want import target, or it's the vertex attributes. Set this to import normals and tangents. Okay. And then we are going to click import, not import all, just import. There we go. This screen comes up. Close it. I'm going to maximize Unreal. Okay. All these materials that are associated with my character, if we go through Fmodel, you will see that they are located in the materials folder. They're these ones right here. The lobby one is for the lobby mesh. We're not there yet. So let's move all of these over here to the left to the materials folder, and just highlight all by holding, or click the first one, then shift click the last one, left click and drag to materials and let go and hit move here. Okay. Now let's bring in our textures. Now again, if we look at the file structure, textures are all right in here. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab our new textures real quick. Now we are not going to use all of these textures, but it's a lot easier to just throw them all in and we'll delete what we don't need later, okay? On the right side, click OK to turn all the normals. It's just to let the engine know that we have normal maps. Okay. I'm going to click on materials, and this is, or meshes. Going to double click SK1036 and 36001, the skeletal mesh, not physics, not skeleton, skeletal mesh. Double click it. I'm going to pull this over here. Here's our character. I'm going to open up materials and click on body. There we go. Oh, and if for some reason, don't worry about the different color here. I had to come back here as well, but no, that's going to pertain to this video. But if I click on my mesh and hit tab to go to edit mode, on the right side, down here in the red earth, if I select one of these over here and hit select, it will highlight the mesh corresponding to that, right? So if I click on equip 2, so it lets me know, okay? In this case, I am about to edit body. So if I click on body, hit select, I know, oh, it's her upper half. Okay, so we're over here. We'll click on textures and find her upper half, which looks like these two textures right here. I'm just worried about the color of the normal map. Don't need to worry about anything else. So what you're going to do is grab the RGB, hold left click, and then pull it up here to base color. Do the same for normal, and that's going to normal. And we'll hit OK. And now we can see over here, it updated in real time. She has her costume now. So let's close that. Come up to materials, click on equip. Let's find out what equip is. Select, okay, it's her bottom half. That will be this texture and this one over here. So I'm going to hold left click on RGB, put it up to base color. For normal map, we'll put it over here, hit OK. Now her bottom is set up. I'm going to click on equip 2 and see, oh, that's her wrist right there. So let's click on equip 2. Textures, I believe all we have for this is just this piece right here, which is just this color piece. I'm going to pull that up here. Hit OK. Close that up, which means head. Well, that's the easy one, right? Just find the face model. So these two over here, or the face texture. Go hit OK, or the save button again. Okay, so she is set up. Now, we've imported a lot of extra textures, ones we don't need. So let's clean up what we don't need, or we're not going to use. So I'm going to click on 26 down here. I'm going to hold Shift and left click to 21, hit delete. And do you see the screen, how it is set up this exact way? That's good. We can hit delete, and we're not going to break our textures, right? Going to do that again for over here, left or click 20, go to 6. Now, these normally aren't numbered. It's just the textures have these names. So if you import random, if you download another model and it comes with textures, expect it to have a weird series of names, okay? Well, I'm going to hit delete. Now this one, if I hit delete, it comes up with this screen and it says, hey, this texture is being used. Are you sure you want to delete it? Well, no, we don't want to delete it because we need it, right? So I'm going to hit cancel, and I'm just going to delete all the ones that don't actually appear for us, that we're not actually using. Okay. And now if you look in the bottom left corner of all these, they're all little asterisks. We want to save real quick. Okay. So highlight all of them and hit Control S to save them. Same with mesh. Let's do that. Control S. They're all saved. Materials. It looks like they were already all saved. Okay. And now let's bring in that lobby file. The lobby one we made earlier. I'll hold left click, bring it in here and drop. Now this is a little different because it's going to come up with the skeleton. We do not want that. So we're going to click this button to the right and click clear. Okay, and hit import, just like we did earlier. Close out of that. Now these all go in our not materials folder, but the lobby folder right below it. Drop in there, hit move here, make sure everything's all saved. I'm going to highlight all of these, hit save. Okay. Looks like we're doing pretty good right here. Make sure everything is good. Okay. Want to save it? Never mind. Now what I'm going to do is come up to content folder, right click, come up to miscellaneous, data asset, and click on primary asset label. Okay, hit select. We don't need to name it or anything. Now we're going to double click it. I am going to, up here for chunk ID, whenever you make a new mod, just give it a different number. Okay, so this one for me, I'm just going to put 99, okay? Throw different numbers in there when you're making your mods. Come down here to include redirectories. I don't want that. And for explicit assets, now we're going to tell the engine what to actually pack for our mod. So what files do we physically want to be in our mod? Okay. We are going to want our models. Now only the skeleton meshes, okay? You don't add the physics. You don't add the skeleton itself. You just want the two, the primary and the lobby, okay? And you also do not include the materials, only the textures. So I'm going to come through here. Oh, wait. I skipped a step. Let me close all that. Save this. That's all good. Textures. We cannot have them. We can't have them have these names. Okay, if we go to meshes, that are meshes we renamed properly. Our materials, they're all named properly. Textures cannot be named like this. Okay, so if we come to our Spider-Man folder, we're going to Spider-Man, we're going to textures, and here are the textures names that we have to use. Now the head, I remember the head was just head. So head underscore D, D is for diffuse, that's the base color. So I'm gonna right click this one, hit copy. I'm just gonna rename. So I'm gonna come over here and right click, rename that head to what's the original one, right? Same with the normal map. I'm gonna copy that and paste that, and there we go. Now I can't remember these names again. Equip is her bottom pants. Okay. So if I come up here to equip D, there we go. Copy that and put that for her pants, which means equip underscore N is going to be the normal map for her pants. There we go. Equip 2 is her bracelet. Where's equip 2 normal or diffuse? Okay. So I'm renaming these all how they're supposed to be, how they're supposed to be representing the original file structure of the original names that were found inside the game already. Okay, so this last one is what? Isn't it body? Yeah, so body is her upper half, right? Yeah. So body normal right here. That's this one. And body diffuse. Here we go. Copy. Rename. Okay. Now everything is set up right. Go ahead, content, open up the new data asset, and now we're going to come back here, and now we're going to properly click on all of the textures. Click the plus button to add more spots. We're going to come all the way through and tell the game, hey, these are the mods, so go ahead and load them. Everything's set up right. There we go. I'm gonna hit the save button up here. I'm gonna hit Control S, or down here it says one unsaved. If you just click on that, this screen comes up. I'm gonna hit select saved, and I'm just gonna hit save. Okay. I want to say we are finished here in Unreal. We did the packing. We're ready to cook. Okay. Now we're going to hit platforms on the top. Hover over Windows. I'm going to click on shipping. I'm going to do platforms again. Windows, package, project. Now if another screen pops up for you first, hit cancel on that, and then this screen will pop up for you. What I like to do is go to the Marvel folder that we were working out of that we made. Right click, and in here I'm going to make a new folder called cooked content. I'm going to hit select folder, and the bottom right it's starting to package the mod. Okay. I'm going to come to that Marvel folder, mods, tutorial. Now another thing to note, the name of our mods, if we look at my other mods, again, I'm not sure what you saw earlier from here, but this is, the future now. But our mods are going to start with Z underscore, then the name of our mod, underscore P. Okay, the Z underscore and underscore P are important, so we're going to keep those. The middle part is the part where you name your mod however you want. Content. Now, the first time you do package this, and if you have to go back and update it later, it's a little faster, but the first time it does take a little bit longer. So again, here's our asset, our Marvel folder. Click on cooked content, Windows, Marvel, content, packs, and we're going to see 2 packs. The first one is pack chunk 0. We don't need that. Don't worry about it. The second one is going to be pack chunk plus the chunk number that you included inside of your new asset. So right here, see it says 99. That's where it says 99 right here. So I'm going to right click and rename it. I'm going to put Z underscore. This is going to be Peter to Hooded Gwen. It's whatever, underscore P. Okay. I'm going to copy this, go to my pack folder, and paste my mod right in there. We're going to now open up Steam and launch our game. While this loads, earlier in Blender, I mentioned the whole vertex painting thing. I was having problems getting that working today. I couldn't make it work consistently. So that's why when we started Unreal, I told you to hit the override button. And if you didn't want the dark outlines, then you set it to that dark blue. So just take note, if you do want those black outlines and the white highlights on your character, you don't mess with those buttons. They've pretty much in Blender, don't even click the vertex paint button. Just leave everything default and you're good to go. At this point though, the mod should be good. Some things that can happen is if you click on the select button in the hero gallery to see your character, if your game immediately crashes, that means when you imported the lobby file, you did not unselect the skeleton. Okay, so go back, re-import it. So delete the assets for that lobby file and just drag the FBX back in, and remember to unselect that option. And this video, I'm not going over the editing any of the texture or any of the images, but those are all very easy to edit. I could answer that question if you guys bring it up in my Discord or in the Marvel Rivals modding Discord. It's all available for you. So I'm gonna hit Heroes, come over Spider-Man, and it did not break. See that? Click on it. Here's our Gwen Stacy that we were just working on. Now, when we're looking at it from this position, we're going to see some weight problems. Oh, you can also edit the audio as well. So jump in the Discord. But we're going to see some weird things with her legs or her armpits. It's not the end of the world. Painting those weights a little bit better would fix it. But when you're in game, oh, and don't test mods and quick match. Always go to practice range, okay? Even when you think you did everything right and you just want to show that you did it in the first try, just come to practice range. But when we're in game, all those little mess ups of the model kind of float away, you know? Oh, to note, the hero gallery in this image right here, this is the lobby character we edited. Okay, so this isn't the main game one yet. This is all lobby. So I'm gonna hit confirm.
It's up to us to help the people who can't help themselves.
Here's our mod.
Watch out, they're headed our way.
So I'm gonna come up here, hit G, and then select our character. And there she is. Now when you're in game, even though the weights weren't perfect, I mean, you're not gonna notice those small little details when you're in game, right? So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I hope it helped. I know it was a lot of stuff. But I'm hoping everything was in there that needed to be in here to help whoever, to help day one without them knowing what to do. Okay, I'm rambling right now. I just hope you guys have a good day. I hope this video helps you. Hasta la vista.